What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? You're tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 163, Chiefs vs. Patriots recap show. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a good day, getting ready for the holidays, getting your Christmas shopping out of the way. Hope y'all handling that as well as you can. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this Chief and Patriots game. So let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. We in hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to win him early, hear the truth. Tuning every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Quick style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
Welcome back, Chiefs Kingdom, Arrowhead Chief Podcast 163, Chiefs vs. Patriots recap show. DJ Ant, what's going on?
What's good? I've been back, but I've been missing out for a while. But hey, it's Victory Tuesday. I'll take it though.
Right. Can't complain about a win. We find ways to complain about wins, but
Yeah.
It is. That's Chiefs Kingdom. We love it.
We seen y'all on X and Twitter or whatever it is we want to call it. Nani, what's good?
Brian.
Merry Christmas to you, Brian.
Hope y'all having a good day, man. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Chiefs win 27-10. Mahomes relatively had a very good game. I don't, those two interceptions weren't his fault. The first one, you never should be throwing it to Blake Bell because you get results like you got on Sunday.
It was a double-sided situation on that one because I knew we were going to talk about that. Yeah. But the crazy part about it was Trey Smith on that same play you're talking about. If he would have bought him a second extra, I think he had Watson going on a one-on-one. That's what he was looking for. Right. I think that's what he was going for in that situation. But Blake Bell, he don't fight for the ball. So, what do you expect?
Yeah, he didn't fight for it, and the defender snatched it right out of his hands.
He might well just said, I punked you, all that. He could have said all that at the same time.
Yeah, and then the throw to Kadarius Toney across the middle. It looked like he was about to get a first down and a few more yards, but he lost concentration of the ball. Bobbled it, went into the defender's hands. You could tell on the sideline. Mahomes had some frustrations about that one. I'm not gonna try to figure out what he said, but pretty much like, man, come on. Be y'all doing to me?
We saw what he said, and people were interpreting it as people were interpreting would think it should have been said. Let's just say it's just not good.
Yeah, for sure. So, but other than that, man, also Sky Moore. Sky Moore's fumble that didn't help matters. People were ready to get rid of him. We'll talk about Sky Moore in a little bit.
Yeah,
but for the most part, other than like that first quarter when they was making Bailey Zappi look like Tom Brady a little bit, and Hunter Henry was looking like Gronk. Other than that, I think the defense played well. I think the offense played well, other than the same old mistakes, penalties, turnovers, things like that will kill you, kill drives. And luckily we was playing the Patriots because, it would have been a different story against a better team. So, but all in all, we got the W, and that's what's all that matters. And we move on to the Raiders on Christmas Day. What's your initial thoughts, DJ Ant?
I think KT gonna get booed on Christmas Day. I think if that's not the first time it's ever happened, I think we're gonna see that.
Yeah.
My goodness. Even so, we talking about breaking down that first quarter. It almost looked like even whether it been Tom Brady or not, that's typically how they've always scored against the Chiefs. They'll play through the tight ends. That's just historically how they played. So why surprised about Henry getting his and everything? Not at all. That's just part of it, just the play calling the way that it is. That's just how they've historically played. Besides, Ramondre Stevenson not being available, I thought that was a plus for them because that's usually another part of the game they like to run through. I mean, Zeke, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. If it was prime Zeke, maybe, but Zeke ain't that same Zeke anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So the overall, as far as the defense, they gave up 10. Really should have been 7. I mean, we obviously know where the 3 came from. It should have never happened. It's just inexcusable. I mean,
Yeah.
for those that had other significant value, if I can use my words carefully in that situation, I get why they mad. Um, you can throw that in the bad beat category and blame that on KT. That was just inexplicable in that situation. I mean,
Yeah.
I just flat out said for them to put him back in the game. He said you can make all the excuses in the world, and let's just park it right here for a minute. Same thing, bounce off the hands. You had one bounce off the hands. You had another drop last week. You lined up off sides. You basically had your quarterback and your coach take $150,000 in fines for you. I don't know what else to say. It's just that's just what more can you argue and dispute in that situation? I'm at the point where I just said give one of these practice squad players a chance at this point because you got your rookie basically coming in, Rashee Rice. He's basically tripled his production, touchdowns wise, yardage wise.
Mm-hmm.
He's done. He's done. And then if you look at Justin Watson's numbers, he's almost doubled his production because Rashee Rice, I believe, is like 650 somewhere around there, and Watson's at 350 somewhere for the season. Doesn't say much. Warren the bench, yeah, and that might be a cold place for him too because ain't nothing warm in KC in this part of the season. That's just, I mean, the ones, twos, the supposed to be 3, it's really flipped all the way around because Justin Watson and Rice have actually produced better than what's supposed to be the 1, 2s, and 3s. That's just the reality of the receiving core and what's going on. Kelsey gonna be Kelsey, although he's had some moments where he looked like he was off. He should have had a
Mm-hmm.
touchdown in the end zone too.
Yeah.
And then
Dropped it.
and I'm specifically speaking on the drive where it looked like it was a little flop in there. I'm like, okay, this is uncharacteristic, but part of that could be frustration too. Um, as far as some of the other areas, Clyde was Clyde.
No, Clyde
He,
did good.
he, he,
Clyde,
he
especially in the passing game.
I
Clyde
have
was great in the passing
he
game.
he's filled in the last 2 weeks. It's like if he's trying to showcase as far as what he's had left, he's showing that he get another contract somewhere. It may not be an Arrowhead, but he's showing that he still got some productivity in him somewhere in there. I can definitely see that. Um, defensive wise, I ain't got much to say about it. They perform as we expected. Everybody's done exceptionally well. They had a good game. I mean, they got close to 30. Who was that had the pick? Not it was Gay had the pick,
Mm-hmm.
and you're starting to see everything starting to take shape. As far as the defense where it's supposed to be. So I got no complaints in that department. Good job, defense, offense. Way to wake up, except with exception of one, maybe two.
Yeah. Offensively, that first drive, Rasheed Rice, that was a dumb penalty.
Yeah,
Talking
the
about
pick,
off the
the
what
pick
was it?
play. Yeah, offensive PI. They called it the pick play rule. That's what that
The
was.
defender ran right into Rice on
Mm-hmm.
purpose. Like that was stupid. That killed that drive.
Yeah,
And we get a Buckner miss, which was
his first. His
first.
first.
I guess you could say he got it out of the way because you don't want to see that in the playoffs or something. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was a bad call. But other than that, we were driving down the field. We did what we want on offense. Like I said, it was just some miscues and penalties and turnovers that killed drives this game. We probably should have beat the Patriots probably by like 30 or 40,
They should.
realistically.
They maybe should have only had three.
Yeah, because one of them was off the pick.
Yep.
They scored on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I just and defensively they had some few like the safeties was just like getting beat by Hunter Henry. It was just like, come on, Justin Reed, you gotta get yourself together, brother. Like, stop letting Hunter Henry beat you like that, man. Come on, get it together. But they finally got it together, and it was good to see these linebackers in full strength with Drew
Yeah.
Tranquil, Nick Bolton, Willie Gay. I think Everybody said Willie Gay's had a down month. I just think that just plays off of he didn't have Nick Bolton,
Mm-hmm.
then he didn't have Drew Tranquil. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Willie plays really well off of them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If he at least has one of them, he plays good. But if he has both of them, he plays really good. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this was a good game for Willie Gay. Um, the defensive line showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Guys was getting to the quarterback. I mean, I know
A
it's
minute,
Bailey Zappi.
Hugh. Yep.
Minnie Hugh had a sack. Who else had a sack? Jalen Watson had a sack. Um, Noddy had a sack. And yeah, just defensive line was just looking good all around. So like I said, we got the win, and that's all you can ask for. Now we could talk about receiver, touches. I think at this point, we need to get more of Richie James. Every time Richie James has gotten the ball these past few games, he's caught it, and he's caught it for a good game. So I wouldn't
He's
mind him increasing his touches up, maybe 20 snaps,
well. We
20
think we know.
touches,
I
at
think we
least
know where
20
them.
touches.
I think we know where them 20 are coming from.
Yeah, and we can get into it before we get, what I'm saying, Sky
Yeah.
Moore. He only had two snaps. One of the snaps he fumbled. Um,
Lucky.
uh,
He was lucky. It was a penalty too. It should have been more, but
yeah. But supposedly, his knee, he has a knee sprain, so they put him on IR yesterday.
I've been talk for years, weeks.
Yeah, they
It
put
had
him
been.
on
I remember
IR,
hearing that.
and they activated Justin Ross. So I could see those touches going to Richie James. I still
Ross.
think they're gonna give touches to Kadarius Tony. They love Kadarius. You saw Travis Kelsey after the game put his arm around him,
That was
trying to
a
cheer him up, trying to let him know, yo, just got just block this game out. Let's move on to the next one.
just this
No,
game.
uh, you know what I mean. But I just think that he was just they obviously love Kadarius. And Andy Reid. Now it was interesting when Andy Reid, and they asked Andy Reid after the game, like, do you expect to give him, less touches or move on from Kadarius Tony? And he was just like, we'll see. He said,
That's usually
we love the kid, but you know what I'm saying, he's got talent, but we'll see.
that's usually not a good thing. Usually
Yeah.
when it come out like that.
So we'll see. I think Richie James. I think him and Kadarius will split touches now. We'll see what Richie James can do now.
Hmm.
They even asked about Richie James, and he said, "Yeah, I got to get him more than two snaps." And that's true. You do got to give Richie James more snaps. He's been off of IR for what 3-4 weeks now. Let,
Something like
let,
that.
let's see what the kid can do. I mean, you brought him in here because you thought he could be productive. You saw he was productive with Daniel Jones. He had 600 yards with Daniel Jones. Like,
And that's a very low standard in my opinion.
yeah, it is. But at this point, we just need reliability, man. That's what we need. We need a reliable. What's your name is reliable? Rice. We know Rice is
Richie Rice,
reliable.
his
Justin
production.
Watson. Justin Watson is reliable on those deep type of passes. He's way more reliable than MVS. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So those two should be your one and two right there. Um, and then you can mix in with a Richie James, a Tony, and then maybe a little bit of Justin Ross, maybe in the short intermediate stuff, maybe in the red zone. Justin Ross could be effective.
But here's my thing about with Justin Ross. These next three games are going to be the most critical for him because, hey, what up, Lamar? But
What's up, Mark?
these are critical because of the way it's like as far as the way it is situated. You got pretty much you got your deal. You're dealing with your bottom feeders and everything. I mean, say what you want about Cincinnati, but health wise and everything, they just don't like you're dealing with a back. We're in backup city. Let's just call for what it is. So it's like as far as with the offense got to figure out how to stay on the field and then how to get these receivers going. They got to get that rhythm going, especially with Justin Ross. That's who I really want to see. It's like I think you started to see a little bit before everything started to happen, and then the whole news broke out. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna see a little bit heavier of a dose of Ross, after in these next three games. And that could make the difference as far as who gets what.
I'm not mad at Ross getting some touches. We'll see. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, he's definitely the big receiver that we could use. Those jump balls, some of
Red
those deep
zone.
red zone, but some of those deep shots that Mahomes wants to take, he can throw those up to Justin Ross, and Justin Ross can probably catch those. Um, Justin Ross probably catch those. Um, even Rasheed Rice, I want to see them take more shots downfield with Rasheed Rice because that was one of his strengths was the 50-50 type passes to him, catching
Mm-hmm.
it downfield. That's what he did at SMU really well. And you saw it even in some instances. The Raiders game, he threw that back shoulder fade to him, and he went up and got it. He threw another back shoulder fade, I think, in the Bills game, and he caught it. But that's what Rasheed Rice is good at, man. He's got strong hands. His only problem is drops, and he had a little bit of fumbleitis, a little bit, but not really.
The whole
Um,
team, the
yeah,
way it was looking yesterday, I'm like, oh boy.
yeah. But other than that, yeah, it should be Rice. It should be Watson. Probably Richie James. Um, and then you go with a little bit of Kadarius Tony here and there, and then Ross. You just sprinkle in Ross a little bit, and then the running backs are going to be essential in the passing game too, with McKinnon. You see,
Pacheco
with
back.
CEH can catch the ball. They finally using CH like I envisioned them using CH like they did in LSU in the
Mm-hmm.
passing game. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about him on the running game, but that's what uh, CEH came in the league being great at was him catching the football out of the backfield. You know what I'm saying? He had 64 yards. That catch in the end zone, that was great. You know what I'm saying? Jumping up, as small as he is, to jump up and high point that ball and get that ball down and come down with it, like
That
that was
was
great.
that was
So
that. I gotta get this touchdown to make sure I get some of my reel for the next year tape. That's what that was. But I'm glad he
right,
got it though. Right.
yeah, yeah. Like he's
The
been
boy in
shaking.
traffic causing a traffic jam.
He's been shaking fully now on that screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
He got hit and got a few more yards out, after the hit. So say what you want about CEH. Like I said, in the passing game, that's where he's really good at. Running football, he's been solid, but passing game is where he's good. McKinnon, same thing, passing game. And then we're getting Pacheco back to run the rock. That was something that we've been missing the past 2 weeks. I believe if we had, I don't like to dwell on past games, but I believe if we had Pacheco in that Buffalo Bills game, we win that game. Like I think we beat them. But like I said, I think that's how the breakdown should go. I know they tried out a couple of tight ends. I know there's a tight end out there that possibly they should be looking at too, is Zach Ertz. Maybe get him in here instead of Blake Bell, because I
Uh,
believe on that play, if that was Zach Ertz, I think Zach Ertz fights for the ball and there's no interception right there. So I don't know. I just think that right now we need to just break this thing down these last 3 weeks, get the ball
mm-hmm.
to the guys who are making plays, the Rices and the Watsons, and then just break it down, intricate from there. Probably split it up with Tony and Richie James, and then like give a little bit to Ross. And then the running backs can work in and like that. Of course, Travis Kelsey's going to get his. Um, Noah Gray, get some more Noah Gray. Noah Gray had a very good catch in the game yesterday. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get Noah Gray involved. The man catches everything that's thrown his way. So I don't understand why we don't use him as a weapon too, off of Travis Kelsey. You know, and that's what they did. They bunch him up. But he gets behind Travis Kelsey. Kelsey goes one way, Gray goes another. They go follow Travis Kelsey. Gray is wide open. So I agree with that, Marn. They definitely need to do that. So
Well, every time they put together a circus anyway, like even so, they couldn't even get the touchdown. When the Rice's touchdown came off another trick play anyway. So I'm like, oh, it just doesn't make sense to hand the ball off. We know it's gonna be a trick play somewhere. You got Mahomes in a 3-point stance. I'm like, why am I not
I
surprised?
was scared. I was
I'm
nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I was
uh,
scared.
I'm like, check that off the bingo card of things I think would happen before I see Mahomes get a quarterback sneak. I'm like, and Mahomes in a 3-point stance before a quarterback sneak. Really?
I was nervous. I was like, what they about to do? They gonna use him as a blocker?
Oh man, they would use him as a blocker. I would have turned the TV off and just not even watch the football for the rest of
They
the
gonna
day.
use him as a blocker? Don't do it to me. No, but
They
no,
got the score, so I ain't tripping. It is
yeah,
what
the
it
play.
is.
It was a good play. You know what I'm saying? It was vintage Andy Reid. Said he pulled that out of Columbia, 1930 something. So
I'm just gonna accept it. You know, if you're inside the 5, there's gonna be a trick play in there. I'm just convinced.
yeah, so you
Just
got pray,
no
pray and hope it works.
north and I mean going north inside the 5, it just don't make any sense. I mean just I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is.
All right, let's talk about the AFC, man. This thing is breaking down really good. This week is a very big week for the Ravens as they go against the 49ers. And
Mhm.
if the 49ers can, if they can get one over the 49ers, that really will prepare the Ravens to being the best team in the NFL right now. Um,
It is, but I'm gonna say but, and here's what. Well, first of all, before we even get into that race, we got to talk about that Sunday night. They get the score, the final score. They lost. The Jacksonville lost by 16, right? I think it
mhm,
was
mhm.
the six. The 16 points were right there, and I had never seen. Maybe the Chiefs were close to it, you know, because we've seen this before. You had 2 missed field goals by McManus. I'm like, man, no wonder why he got sent out of Denver. And then Trevor Lawrence, I'm like, he caught Daniel Jones syndrome, just dropped the ball.
Mhm.
And then they come up with the Kansas City Tyreek Hill last second, don't have any timeouts play call. I'm like, what is this team doing? They like this. If Jacksonville had the chance to do it, it was blown in that first half, flat out. So they
It
basically gave
was.
them,
It was.
and then on the flip side for the Ravens, because I had to look at it's like we're talking about them in the playoff race, but everything is kind of starting to shape out almost very similar to how the downfall of the Ravens happened last year, with exception of their quarterback situation. Ravens might be dealing with the injury bug, you know, because they had another
They
running
always
back
dealing.
fall.
They always dealing with the injury bug.
I'm like down with another. I mean, Mark Andrews already went down. You're down to what, your fourth running back now already? I'm
Mhm.
like, y'all better.
Keep
I
Mitchell
say,
hurt.
and then OBJ not promised. You know how that is. That's a week to week evaluation. Watch the game and see if he hurts a pinky or something. They better protect Lamar Jackson with his life because ain't nothing to say. Because I'll say it right now. I believe the only thing that's going to be on the cards right now is 2 through 7. I think the Ravens will be the number 1 seed. I think they
Mhm.
will. I think their one loss will come to the 49ers.
Yeah.
And then I think the Chiefs will get the 2 seed. Doesn't mean that the AFC Championship won't have to go through Kansas City, because we've seen the Ravens blow it once before
Mhm.
as a
Mhm.
1. But this will be a very interesting AFC playoff setup, no matter what, how it ends. It's going to be very interesting.
Here's my thing: is that and I voiced this on Friday, and I asked Demar and I asked DG this question. I was like, "Who in the AFC are you scared of?" And both of them said they scared of the Chiefs. They're not scared of the Ravens. They're not scared of the Buffalo Bill. Even if Buffalo makes it, they're not scared of Dolphins.
I got a bold take for that too. I got a bold take for all the. I said, and the way the Bills shipping that out and everything, stamp it, mark it. I don't care. Do what you got to do. Bills are going to get close, and they're going to get knocked out in the final week of the playoffs on a Sunday night football games to the Dolphins. Mark it, stamp it. It's just the way it is being scripted. I just see it. I had them losing to Dallas. I saw it coming. I said, okay, they got that emotional high doing all this other stuff. They're gonna get to a little. I mean, this is great for ratings, and then watch them just fall off a cliff, and watch Allen just have like a 3 interception game against the Dolphins. I said, watch, it's
Who they
coming.
play this? Who do they play this week?
They play.
They play the Dolphins this week. They play the Dolphins this week, don't they? No, that was
No,
last week.
no,
They
no.
played.
They have. I'll pull it up right now for you. They got a couple easy ones, and then they play the Patriots. No, they play the Chargers, then the Patriots, and then they play the Dolphins.
Oh,
Like I said, it's a setup. It's a
yeah.
setup come because the Dolphins do have the hardest schedule. Because I expect them to probably lose 2, so it's gonna make that last week very interesting it's gonna be for the division.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got the Dolphins, I got them losing to the 49ers, and I have them losing. No, I got the Dolphins losing to the Ravens,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got them losing to who was the other team that they were playing?
Whoever they
There
play
was
this week. Who they play this week?
Cowboys. I said the Cowboys are gonna wake up after that bad game, and they're gonna be neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bills will have the tiebreaker, and then everything's gonna be on the Bills, and they're gonna find a way to blow it. That's just what I'm seeing. It's slowly unfolding.
We'll see, because they're a dangerous team to go into the playoffs against. Even
But
though
but
we still should have beat them, but whatever.
but low key though, I'm kind of started paying attention a little bit though on Saturday. Although I was down, pretty much could barely lift an eyelid. I better look out for them Colts though. They're a sneaky team.
They are sneaky.
I I,
They
I
are
like
sneaky.
I like what I saw out of Gardner Minshew. I'm like, okay, I see what.
Garner Mitchell got that team
And
sneaky this past everybody.
And Pittman been balling too, and he about to be a free
What's
agent.
up? How's your 40? No, God, shut up. Shut up, Joe. Shut up, Joe. um,
The Colts are a sneaky team, but it's gonna be a race though because the AFC South they got 3 up there for grabs. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
it's
because
interesting.
Houston won one without CJ Stroud. I did not see that coming. Um, but as far as the Ravens go, man, I think they're a good team. I just don't think they're a great team. Like I don't think
I agree.
they're good on offense. That's just not great. They don't wow me. I think that's what it is. It's not like the 49ers on both sides of the football, they wow you. They got weapons all over the place. And it's just like that team is scary.
My question is,
The
what is the
Ravens
greatest?
is just kind of they're good. I get it. And defensively, they're good, but then you can run the football on them. Like they can be had on defense. It's not like they're perfect. And then on offense, it's just like Lamar and them, they do just enough.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about the Ravens is they're opposite us. Like they're good at not turning the football over, and they play sound and within the offense, whereas we we don't play sound within the offense and we turn the football over and we have dumb penalties. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like the Ravens, they just I don't know. They get I don't want to say they get lucky. They just play within themselves and they win football games. But they're not like I don't look at them like, damn, if we
I
play
don't.
them,
I
I'm
don't.
scared. I don't know,
It's,
man.
and to me, I have yet to see that receiving core of theirs get tested. I mean,
Yeah, like
who is their biggest test? Pittsburgh, their defense, and not definitely not the offense. I definitely am speaking about the offense for the record for everybody watching. But I'm
yeah.
saying let's just run down the defenses that the Ravens have played. Texans in week 1, I don't count that at all. Bengals defense, not so much. Then you had the Colts, Browns, Titans. Lions, Seahawks, none of these defenses scare me at all. They played the Chargers defense, in which they only put up 20, which is crazy. I think there should have been a lot more. I just don't see it.
They should have lost to the Rams last week.
At home.
Yeah, they should have lost to the Rams. They got that
Mm-hmm.
punt return. Now, that's good on them, but they should have lost that game. Like, Rams was giving them everything.
But you know what? The Ravens are going to get their strongest test as far as they're going to offense and how good they actually really are though this week. This week will tell you everything you need to know.
And I think our defense, I think people still they acknowledge our defense is good, but I think people really sleep on our defense. Like when we're fully healthy and really, really going, like
fully healthy.
I think our defense can hold up to any of these offenses. That even includes the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not saying San Francisco wouldn't get theirs, but I don't think it'd be as easy as it looks. How it's been looking these past few Sundays. Like I think there would be a dogfight for them to get what they want to get from us.
It's going to be they're going to have some problems facing the 49ers in more ways than one. I mean,
I think our corners are better than the Ravens.
The Ravens and that receiving core, they haven't faced any physical corners. That's the best way I can describe as far as who the Ravens have played, and they're going to get that in San Francisco this week. Mm-hmm. They're going to have their hands full. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a great Christmas lineup and everything. So after everybody tunes in, to the Chiefs game, in the morning game, whoever the middle game is, watch that game closely, and it might not even be close. It might. Matter of fact, you know what? Everybody that kept this is going to be a quick rant. Everybody that's sitting there saying there's like, the Super Bowl going to be the 49ers and the Ravens this year because the logo is purple and red and blah blah blah, and whoever teams and everything. Enjoy your Super Bowl on Christmas Day. If this is who the teams you said going to Super Bowl, you better watch it this week. If that's what you believe, because it ain't happening. Those aren't going to be the two teams in Vegas. I can see one of the teams in Vegas, but the other one,
no.
No.
Like, I don't know. Maybe call me a hater. Sorry, Baltimore Ravens fans. Call me a hater. But the Ravens, they're good. I'm not acknowledging. I ain't saying y'all bad team and nothing like that. Y'all the number one seed in the AFC, man. It's y'all division right now, or y'all conference right now. But
I said it a couple years ago too.
I watch y'all play, and it's just like every time I'm watching, I'm like, this the number one team? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're good, but I didn't see Lamar throw some passes that was underthrown. I didn't see, man. I don't know. I haven't seen offenses come in there and run on that defense. Just run right up the middle.
Yeah, I don't know what Jacksonville was doing. They got grace on Sunday night.
Yeah, they just capitalize on your mistakes. That's what makes the Ravens good. They capitalize on your mistakes. When you make too many mistakes, and look, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, the Chiefs make all kinds." That's true. We can go into Baltimore and mess around and do bad as far as fumbling and penalties like that, and they could beat us, and that's valid. But I'm just saying, like, I've just seen teams just have one or two mess ups, and the Ravens just capitalize off of those one or two mess ups, and it's just my thing about the Ravens is that if they get down 2 scores, can they come back?
Lamar Jackson not built that way. He's not.
Like if somebody gets up on them 14 points, can they come back on 14 points the way that offense is structured?
He's not. It's not. That offense ain't built that way to do that. It's not. And then, like I said, we talk about the hype with Zay Flowers and everything. Do I believe he's a talented receiver? Absolutely. But has he faced a physical corner that's going to put hands on him and everything? I have yet to see that. That's where I think that's going to get taken away in the playoffs. That's going to be a problem. So then you're going to have Bateman and who do you think is going to be answered with him? Is he going to be able to step up? Maybe, but I don't think he's going to be as effective. Now, I will say I do like that kid Likely though has stepped up for him. I will say that's a plus.
Nice. I've always liked Likely. I like his athletic ability. Mm-hmm. I think he's an underrated corner. I mean, underrated tight end in this league. I like him, but like I said, man, I think they capitalize on what you do wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what that's what keeps them in the win column. But when they have to face somebody who's right on par with them, it's a dogfight. Exactly, Joe. I don't know. I don't know. Now with these, they talk about these receivers, but these receivers are okay. They're cool. Like I like Zay Flowers. Anybody who knows me, I wanted Zay Flowers to be drafted by us. But he's been good, but it's not like Zay Flowers is just blowing off the doors as a rookie.
Mm-mm.
I think Rasheed Rice is having a better rookie season than him right now. As much as we talk about our receivers, Rasheed Rice is having a way better year than Zay Flowers. So um, Odell, he shows up every now and then. He's starting to look a little bit better because his body. He's starting to get into his NFL play or whatever. He's played a few games and stuff. But other than that, I'm not scared of Odell. I think L'Jarius Sneed would lock Odell down. Give me Trent McDuffie versus A Fly.
McDuffie would take care of that. Be honest with you.
You wanted Darnell Wright. I wanted Zay Flowers. Cut it out, Joe. Ain't no damn Darnell Wright.
No, the discussion across the board was a receiver should have been the top pick. I remember that. But then that's when
Yeah.
I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? They may not go receiver. I said it probably might be in the second round if they did. And then it ended up
Yeah,
going the way I thought it did.
yeah, man. Joe, don't be putting that evil on me.
You said you liked him, but
Yeah, Darnell Wright. I like the way he say I wanted Zay, I wanted Jordan Addison, I wanted a receiver over these guys. So don't be putting that. Don't lie on me, Joe. All right, you already in the doghouse, Joe.
because
All right.
even so, you just look at all. You can look at every team, kind of like sees like match them up for who and what it's worth and all that good stuff. But I could see, Baltimore. They would play the lower seed.
She right tackle. Shut up.
You see, Baltimore play the lower seed, so they could be seeing possibly a Houston. And I can see Houston still getting in. I see Cleveland probably
Mm-hmm.
getting bounced out, but they could face a Houston. They could play an Indy. They could struggle with any of those teams. I think that's just what
Joe
I believe.
Joe Flacco and the Browns, man.
Man, Flacco, man, I say he turned back the hands of time. Like good for him. Back
That
to back
defense is
300
still
yard
good.
game.
That
Yeah,
defense is still
there
good.
was no problem with the defense. It's like we just had issues that we had concerns that the quarterback what was going to happen. I'm like, they ain't gonna go. I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, if
man.
they in. I wouldn't want to face them. I mean, currently they'll be slated to play Jacksonville. Looks like. Ooh,
I don't know.
that might be an upset. The
Yeah,
way that Jacksonville been playing.
yeah, for sure.
Because
I
just looking at the current playoffs and how it'll be set up, it will be Miami ain't gonna be a two. Forget about it. That's gonna be a question. But if it were to happen, it'll be Miami versus the Colts. The Chiefs will be playing the Bengals, and then the Jacksonville will be playing Cleveland. That would
yeah.
be the current playoff matchup.
Keep talking. Keep talking, Mark. I gotta do something real quick.
Okay. So it's gonna be interesting, like I said, going down the stretch. As far as like the team that could get knocked out though, I would say Cincinnati. Well, I mean, if Cleveland keep playing the way they're doing, I mean, they look good. It's like as far as like with Flacco, if you would have Flacco going back to back with 300-yard games, though, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have called you crazy. I would have told you go on somewhere. But Cleveland pretty much been doing their thing. So I don't know. I mean, and then Pittsburgh, they pretty much told the truth of who they are, and then they on the outside looking in now. And then Buffalo, I'm telling you, I just don't believe that Buffalo gonna get in. I just don't because they right on. It's almost like a Cowboys type feeling. They go, they caught momentum, they catching fire and everything. It seemed like they got all their chemistry, all that together. But I just think when they run into Miami, though, I just think that's gonna be the game. They just flat out blow it on so many levels. I think Allen's going to have one of his worst games. I think Miami defense is going to show up for that one game and be done. because when it's all said and done, that one's gonna come down to the division because Miami's gonna lose these next two. That's gonna be a tough matchup for them because they still got to prove that they can beat a above 500 team, and they got to face the Cowboys this week, and then they got to deal with the Ravens the following week. That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be extremely rough for the Miami. That's why I think it's just Buffalo. I just don't see Buffalo getting in after that one because they got to win out with Buffalo. They have to win out. Chris has to go get my week ones.
What? I gotta get you what? Chris had to get my 1 week. This
Since an incident play, he's a fool.
whatever. I need to be coming. Never mind.
No,
Let me shut up.
no, but I think
Because go ahead.
I just think it's based on the teams that are. If there's a team that's not likely to get in, it's actually Cleveland might actually get in. I think it's Cincinnati is likely to be the team that's out.
Yeah,
I think it is because I mean, sadly as it
They-
is, I mean
who they play
Steelers.
this week? Who do
They
they play
played
this week?
they played the Steelers on Saturday, but I gotta feel. I mean, man, that's gonna be a terrible game to watch. Why would they make that the Saturday game? Is that just to get it over with game? Because Mason Rudolph is the starter for that game, right? For the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we talked about him, he was getting smacked upside the head with a helmet from Myles Garrett. And then I know the Bengals, they got their share of injuries because I know Jamar Chase, he had a separated shoulder. So
He's out. Yeah, he's out.
that's going to be a terrible game.
They said he probably won't play until the last game of the season.
And yeah, because here's the Bengals schedule. They got the Steelers, then they play the Chiefs, and then they got to play the Browns. And I think the Browns are going to solidify that.
Yeah.
So I think the Browns are going to get in. I think let's go down the list. Baltimore, they're gonna be in. Miami, they're gonna be in.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs, we know they're gonna be in. Jacksonville gonna be in. Cleveland gonna get in. Oof, man. Colts are gonna get in. I believe they'll get in. And I got Houston getting in. Houston will take over Cincinnati spot. Pittsburgh will probably Pittsburgh will get to 9-8 because that's just what Tomlin does. He stays above 500. Denver gonna fall short somewhere.
Have you seen the Sunday night game?
It was a trash game. I know that much.
Patriots and Broncos. I want to watch that.
The only reason why I would watch it is because if Denver loses that game, then the Chiefs are playing for the division on Monday. That's the only reason why you would watch it.
Yeah, I guess they could win that game too. They can beat the Patriots too.
They should beat the Patriots.
But I think even if they win, I think if we win, we still get the division. I think that's what it was.
But Buffalo's a team not going to make it. They're not even in it right now, Brian. That's the problem. They lost too many games early. They got to win out, and then they got to beat Miami. But like I said, the schedule is set up so perfectly for Buffalo to get in because they got 2 cupcake games, and then Miami has the 2 harder games. So I expect them to be even after week 17, and then week 18 is going to be for the division. And I just think that the Buffalo going to fall asleep at the wheel. They're going to be like, we got this. We beat this team. Especially when Miami know they got punched in the face when they went up to Buffalo the last time. You don't think Miami got that in the back of their minds? That's
and
trap.
Miami. And it's in Miami.
Trap.
Because the Buffalo Bills play different when they're on the road. When they're at home, I've always said Buffalo's they're front runners. When they play at home, they smoke most teams. They go to Buffalo. But when they're on the road, they struggle. They struggle a lot.
And the thing about it is that with Buffalo and Miami, they split last year, and then they played again the following week with a backup and an incompetent coach who don't know how to make a play call within the play call time. That's why Miami choked last year. And they were playing with a backup. That's right. Because Tua was hurt last year.
Speaking of Broncos, did you see Sean Payton going off on Russell Wilson?
Russell? Yeah, I saw that.
because all the offensive linemen jumped up outside. It's like, damn, why you going at Russ? He ain't the one who went outside. I mean, he's cussing him out. I was bottled up. That was just.
That was wild. I was like, well, that's their problem, not mine. I don't care.
I think
But
Russ
that's
is
just
there next year, even with that contract.
mean you kind of stuck. You can't do nothing with it. That's an expensive tab to have sitting on the bench. That's just tough.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a GM mistake. And that's why that's the importance, of establishing that coaching situation before they didn't. I mean, uh, they stuck with him. Nothing you
yeah,
can
they
do.
are.
They better hope something good come out and take advantage of a
This
good
division
draft
is
pick.
the off season of this division is going to be wild. With us, is going to be what receivers are we going to get? Are we going to bring back Chris Jones? Are we going to sign L'Jarius Sneed? Like,
The free agency is
it's,
going to be wild next year. It's going to be because, like you said, Chris Jones contract, Snead's contract. Do you go after a free agent receiver? Because I wouldn't mind. I mean, low key, I wouldn't mind having a Michael Pittman now of the Colts. I mean, you can steal him. I'm just
mhm,
saying because you can. There's no way.
I agree, 90.
There is no way you can go in the next year with the same receiving core, especially Rasheed Rice. You need somebody to mentor that as far as what he's done. He's had a productive year, but like we said earlier, he's best fit as a high end two,
Yeah,
and then having a quality one, and then still have that, and then you be able to create success that way.
I agree.
You would be crazy to say that Rasheed Rice is like, oh, we're gonna make him the one. No, because then I think you're gonna make the same mistake and you're gonna put him in a Juju like situation before because Juju was in a situation like that years ago prematurely because he
Hmm.
was dominant as a two, and then they
Yeah,
put him in as a one before he was ready and couldn't get
yeah,
anything.
yeah. No, I agree. I think Rasheed Rice. I always say he's a high end two, low end one.
Hmm.
I think with the right development, it's possible he could go into a number one. The thing about Rasheed Rice is that he's got juice. He's just not a downfield threat like a number
Mm-mm.
one. You can't
No,
call on him to beat a defender one on one and go down the field. So that's one thing that we are missing. And I'm not even talking about like a Tyreek Hill. I'm talking about just somebody who would just get open downfield when you need
yeah,
it and when you got to go get it. I don't think he's developing to that yet. But if he's a strong number two, and then you get somebody like even like a Calvin Ridley or Michael Pittman or somebody like that, it's miraculously we trade for Jettas.
that ain't happening. There ain't
I
no
know
chance. Ain't no chance.
it ain't no chance,
Like, that's why I
but
said.
it ain't no chance.
Unless they, I
But
mean,
if you give me
but you know what? Actually, you know what? The only chance of that would happen is if and this would require Chris Jones not being. They would have to part ways with him, but it would have to be on some serious good exchanges. It would have to be some first round picks that come back in exchange for
I
Chris Jones.
like
That's the only way.
I like Tyler Lockett. I think he's a very good receiver. My problem with him, he's injury prone. Like he gets hurt a lot
How many
because he's
years he
small.
been in? 'Cause I like Lockett too, but I'm like,
I like Lockett too, but I don't know if I want to bring him in to be my number one. Like I'd rather get Michael Pittman Jr. or somebody like that to
that's
come in
why
and
I think like literally right after the game, that's when I started looking up like who are the top free agents next year. Like literally, actually, it wasn't even after the game. It was like after I think I went off talking about Jonathan
yeah.
for a contract. You might be right too because they got to figure out who throwing the ball down there to him in Minnesota. I
No,
mean,
I agree. I agree, Mar. I mean, you're definitely gonna have to pay if you trade for him. You're definitely gonna commit to him. Same thing with like if you try to go to get a Brandon Ayuk, you're gonna have to pay him. You're not
yeah,
gonna just trade for him and he just stick around. No, you'd have to pay him. Now, I think you'd have to pay him less than Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you got to break the bank as much, but yeah, I We
I forgot one of the Bengals receivers will be available next year too. I said, ain't no way they can be able to afford them.
I could see that. I think he's a little bit. I think he has a little bit more juice than Dwayne Bowe. Dwayne was just big and just powerful. He just
Yeah,
bully.
I'm looking here. I'm
Dwayne
trying.
Bowe was 6'2", two. I think he was like 225, 230. He was a big guy.
He
So
was. Just unfortunately, he didn't have anybody to help him.
he didn't. He didn't. He had
he didn't,
nobody else.
he didn't have a whole. He didn't have any situation that could help him. Really.
So it wasn't all his fault. But yeah. Um yeah,
I'm
like I
trying to
said,
look.
off season gonna be crazy with us, with the Chargers looking for a coach. They might go the Bill Belichick route. Um
Unless they give the coach up north a call up down in Ann
Jim
Arbor.
Jim.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the Patriots calling him.
Come down to sunny L.A.
Yeah, he'll take that. He's tired of that
Mm-hmm.
cold weather. But I can see the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? You going from Bill Belichick? You got to go Bill Belichick to a name. You can't go from Bill Belichick to Ben Johnson. Like I like Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions, but
Yeah, he the best. As far as coordinator wise, he's probably the best available that you would take
yeah,
as far as the coach.
like
That I
unless
think.
you got to go from to okay, the Patriots trying to do something.
But even so, I mean, we know they're not finished with coaching terminations, though. We know there's still probably going to be at least about a good 3 or 4.
Yeah,
And truth be told, after the Falcons choke job on that one, oh boy, he might be on the hot seat for that one too. You can't lose to the Panthers. You can't.
yeah,
You can't lose to a team that's selling $4 tickets in the stands. You
yeah.
can't do that. Like, really?
9-7. That was horrible. 9-7. That's bad.
Well, that's the Birds. They never recovered ever since.
Oh well. All right, man. Who's your player of the game?
Player of the game.
Or
Who I'm gonna?
players of the game, should I say?
Ooh, boy, I'm trying to not have quick amnesia on that one because you know how that goes. Let's see here. Well, we know it ain't KT. I know that much. Um,
Why you gotta take shots at KT, man? They KT
man,
for
that's just frustrating. I think every Chiefs fan was frustrated with his play. You can't help it. I get the whole side of it. You know, he's young. He was 24 or something like some number of that. But dude, hey, that's gotta stop. That's getting ridiculous.
I,
He not,
I say this more. I think this offseason he's gonna. I'm gonna say he's gonna go pay a big contract, you know, to like a Jettis or anything like that. I can see him paying Michael Pittman Jr.
I could.
That's not gonna cost you much.
He ain't top money, but he's
Yeah,
done.
he's done enough to be a number one, but he's not a $40 million a year
I
contract
mean,
type
Pittman
guy.
get Pittman getting it done with if you're able to get it done with Gardner Minshew. Yeah, CH did have a good game. I mean, yeah, I give it to him. Why not?
Talk to
It's
me
very
real right now. We don't win it. Nagy's gone. No, Nagy's not
no,
going
no,
anywhere. That is
no.
that is that is Andy Reid's young son that he never had, and he's gonna keep him there. And he's Brett Veach's best friend. Like, nah, he ain't going nowhere. Now, this receiving coach might be gone. We can see that. Now
With
that's
a
another story.
quickness, with
Mr.
a quick,
Embry might be gone. But yeah, Nagy ain't going nowhere.
with a yeah, and the receivers
Nice.
coach.
That's a good
Okay,
one, Nani.
okay. So on offense, I'm gonna give it to Rice. He had 9 to 91 in a touch. Can't argue. He was actually 9 for 9. I think he caught all his targets. So yeah, you gotta give it to him on the offensive side of the ball. Defense, Snead actually had a really good game. He had 8 solo tackles. Jeez, yeah, he did have a good game.
Who?
Sneed.
I see he had a really good game. The
Yeah,
corners had good games. Both the corners had good games.
yeah. Let's give it. Yeah, let's give it to Sneed. Let's give it to Sneed and Rice on my books. Let's give it to them.
For sure.
Not.
I'm gonna give it to CEH, man. He had a touchdown. He was good in the passing game. And on defense, I'm gonna give it to Willie Gay. I'm gonna give it to Willie Gay. He had an interception. He was, flying around doing his thing. So I'm definitely gonna give it to him.
They both earned it. They both good candidates for the players of the week, in my opinion. What about that dude from Pittsburgh, the one that quit on the route,
Who? Deontay Johnson. Is that his name? Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson?
I actually like Deontay. I just think Deontay is just tired. I just think he see Kitty Two Gloves over there. He like, man, what am I doing?
Yeah,
What are we
yeah.
doing? What,
Pick his numbers.
what are we? And then he had to deal with, a beat up Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't had good quarterback play in a long time. Mason Rudolph. Yeah, I feel
He
you,
get
Deontay. Come to Kansas City.
he get to see he
You
get to see.
tired of the coach, all in the videos. No,
He get they get Mason Rudolph again this week, so it's gonna be a mighty long game.
Lee and Rice. All right, Joe. God, every week, Joe. Every week, you make me question our friendship. Did you say something? Here's another week of this, Joe. This nonsense. All right, y'all. You got anything else, DJ Ant?
Nah, like I said, we're officially in backup city. That's all it is. You look at the next couple of weeks, all you're dealing with is backup quarterbacks.
Aiden O'Connell. We should beat him. We already beat him. We already slapped him around. Pow, pow, pow. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
gonna it's gonna be a
Jay
merry.
Browning better not come into Kansas City and look like the second coming.
Nah, I mean, I think that game. We had concerns. I mean, it's not gonna hold the same value
Yeah,
as
I
far
like
as like.
Deontay Johnson. I actually like him. I wanted to trade for him last year. His contract ain't that big. Hey, you know what? I'll take Deontay Johnson.
More and better than what we got right now, as far as
He'd be our
majority.
number one wide receiver right now. You put him and Rice together, yeah,
And
we wouldn't even be we wouldn't even be having these problems right now.
you know what? Deontay Johnson did used to have brick hand syndrome too, but he worked on it though.
Yeah, he did.
He come away.
Come a long
So
way.
so if he
So
can get it together, I mean, I ain't gonna. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it as a blank statement. If he can get it together, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
you
No,
like that?
no promises. But since the Cincinnati game not going to hold as much value because obviously Burrow's not playing, it don't mean the Chiefs take a day off. But and then you're gonna say the Raider and Chiefs, on Christmas Day. I mean, just don't ruin Christmas. They got the first game on the Christmas Day. I expect to take care of business and then do what they do. And then the final week against the Chargers, like I said, you're dealing with the last backup quarterback, Stick. Yeesh. Man, that Chargers team sucks. Jesus. Well, Bill won them. Can we borrow Keenan Allen for a year to mentor? I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
My God, Joe. My God. It's all good, Joe.
I wouldn't oppose a Keenan Allen mentoring for a year.
They get rid of him. I'll take it now. He stayed
get,
healthy this season.
get,
He did stay
mean,
healthy.
I
You give me,
mean,
you give us Keenan Allen. And
give him a 1 year, I'll be good.
you know he can get separation off the line. That's all. That's all I'm
Hmm.
gonna say. You know he can get separation off the line.
He always could. He always could. Always been a Keenan Allen fan.
He would cook in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably
That's
one of his greatest years. If he can stay, the only thing about him is health, just health. All right, people, we're gonna go ahead and end this thing. Appreciate y'all rocking with us as usual. Nani, Joe, Brian, Mar, anybody else who's out there watching us, we appreciate y'all watching us, man. Rocking with us, talking about our Kansas City Chiefs. So first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Bet Us, where the games begin. You sign up going through our direct link, you get 125% sign up bonus plus up to 30 risk free bets. So go ahead and sign up with them. Get your bet on not just football, but basketball and all other sports, man. So shout out to Bet Us, man. We also want to give a shout out to Glitch Energy Drink. Glitch Energy Drink offers a wide range of delicious flavors to suit everyone's taste preference. Whether you're into fruity flavors like Maui Punch and Cherry Bomb, or prefer something unique like Blue Smurf and Grenades, there's something for everyone. Glitch Energy Drink is not only great for gamers and workout warriors, but also for everyday people who simply need a boost of energy. It's a healthy choice that you can feel good about. You can find more information and purchase Glitch Energy Drink at glitchenergy.com. Once again, glitchenergy.com. Remember to use the promo code AHChiefPod. Get 10% off your purchase. Start enjoying the benefits of this delicious and energizing drink. Shout out to Glitch Energy. All right. And if you look down at the bottom, you see the link emqpodcast.com/locker room. If you click on that link, you'll see all the podcasts that's under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella. You'll see a Patriots one, you'll see a 49ers one, and you'll see ours, Arrowhead Cheap Podcast. Click on the banner. You'll see all of our episodes from the past to the recent ones. Also, if it's first time watching us on YouTube, hit that subscription button, hit that like button, hit that notification button so you can get the notification when our lives open up on Mondays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time and on Fridays, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You could jump right into the comment sections and join us and talk trash with us like Nani, like Brian, like Joe, you know, like Mar, and come in and we could just talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, whether it be talking about their matchup or talking about, recapping the game. So go ahead and hit that, do that for us. And whatever streaming platform that you use, whether it be Apple, Google, Spotify, uh, Alexa,
Stitcher,
um,
Breaker.
yeah, iHeartRadio, whatever you use, Arrowhead Cheap Podcast is on. Whatever social media platform you use, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Threads, whatever you use on a frequent basis, go ahead and follow us. You see that right above, Mark, that AHG podcast? You can use that on any platform and follow us. We'll follow you back. Give us feedback. Give us critiques. Give us, topics. You know what I'm saying? Because we are not Hollywood. Hold on, Joe. What are we? What are we, Joe? Like, pull you up. It's coming. Come on. There you
There
go.
he goes.
What's up, Tracy, man? Thanks for joining in, man. Good folks, good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, go ahead and hit us up. You know what I'm saying? Any feedback, you know what I'm saying? Good feedback. We're here to listen. We want to make the best chief content that we can give to y'all on a weekly basis. So go and hit us up, man. So until next time, people, happy holidays. You know what I'm saying? Join us on Friday at 9 p.m. where we preview the game against the Raiders. Honestly, I don't know what we're going to talk about because it's the Raiders. But still, come in and join with us before the holidays, before the Christmas. And we'll try to jump this thing off. So until next time, we are
Go
gone.
Chiefs.